Alright, how's it going? Second video, I'm back. I got a lot of nice feedback from my last video. I really appreciate that. One of my mates said, loved your video, were you on drugs? So that's really positive, obviously. So, what is it I want to talk about today? Right, I want to go all the way back to the beginning, to the basics. I want to talk a little bit about what exercise is and dispel some of the myths surrounding exercise, sports industry, training industry, because it's all just a bit complicated. The whole health industry, sports industry, even though, you know, I'm all up in it, it just has become a bit, I just don't think it appeals to the wider mass necessarily. And we just think of exercise and health, training, sports as something that doesn't appeal to us. We don't fit in. It's beyond what we can achieve. It's not worth getting into, or it's just impersonal, too competitive, boring, whatever it be. So, here's a little experiment. I want you, for a second, to try and forget everything you know about exercise and health and sports and fitness. I want you to forget about the Michael Jordans, the Venus Williams of the world. I want you to forget about Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich. I want you to forget about your PE teachers. I want you to forget about the gym instructions or the high intensity training instructions. I want you to forget about gold medals and finish lines. And instead I want you to think about what exercise actually is. It's an activity, right, where there's a physical effort involved that will either maintain or increase your health and fitness. That's it. There's nothing in the definition of exercise that has anything to do with burpees or basketball or figure skating. Right? So when you've cleaned your mind of all of those associations you perhaps do or don't have with sports, but I'm sure you have your own associations, forget about all of that and replace it with whatever you want to replace it with. That is to say, activities, let's go this way, activities that involve some sort of physical exertion that will either maintain or increase your health and fitness. So could be crossing a river, could be doing cartwheels, could be pulling out weeds in your garden, chopping wood, playing hide and seek, carrying your kid on your shoulders. It could be anything. That's exercise. And then you got to think about, well, what activities could I do or do more of that I enjoy that meet that simple criteria? And to be honest, most of us, myself included, we like to stay in our comfort zone, so we don't really want to test all that much. We like doing things that we're good at or that we feel comfortable doing, and I mean that makes sense, there's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't lead to great development. We don't see huge steps in our journeys of, I don't know, becoming wiser and more experienced and enjoying more in life. But it also, by not trying or testing things, and to be quite frank, how do we know what it is that we like or don't like doing? So the point of this little video is this, is that a lot of people don't train or don't engage in exercise as much as they need to. All the reports from the West are showing us that people are sitting too long, they're not engaging in physical activity enough, and we're paying the price for it. We're going to live until we're, you know, 80, 90, 100 maybe. And the way things are going, we're going to live 20 to 30 of those years with illnesses and sickness because we haven't trained enough. And if we see basketball and gold medals and running tights and, you know, things that we find intimidating or scary, if we think of that as exercise or sports, then that might prohibit us. But we don't need to do that. We can simply replace whatever the industry tells us is training or sports or health. We just replace that with what it is that we want to do. That means that we physically exert ourselves to increase our health and fitness. And yeah, it's not that simple, obviously. Hopefully I'm going to make a living out of telling people how to effectively do that, empower them to be able to do that in the best way possible for the rest of their lives. That's my goal. But ultimately, on the macro level, it is that simple. We just need to do physical things enough, the right types of physical things enough that we find enjoyable, and don't let the health industry, the training industry, or the sports industry tell you what those things are and what success looks like. Science will tell you what success looks like because you'll feel it. And the best way of feeling it is by training regularly. Now, if you do that, great. And if you enjoy it, even better, because it's going to be really difficult for you to have lifelong training motivation doing things that you think are right that you find really boring. So stop doing that. Redefine what health and fitness and sports can be for you, and that'll be different from your partner or your kids or your friends or your colleagues. And once you've done that, then you've come a long way, and then you just need to make sure that you keep doing it as much as you possibly can. So that was the message for today. Snow's still here. Little walk at lunch for me. Great opportunity to just get my thoughts on video again. I hope you enjoyed this. There'll be more coming. I'll continue my walk now. Have a great day. Cheers.